4 astronauts, 1 Orion spacecraft, 2 commercial lunar landers, and a mission that could decide the future of NASA's return to the Moon. NASA has just revealed the crew for Artemis III, and this mission may be one of the most important steps before humans actually set foot on the lunar surface again. The crew has been named, the timeline is set, and the stakes could not be higher. Over the next few minutes, you are going to learn exactly who is flying on Artemis III, what this mission actually is, and why it is very different from what many people were expecting. You will also find out how SpaceX and Blue Origin fit into the picture, and why this mission is being called a critical bridge between where NASA is today and where it needs to be before astronauts can safely return to the lunar surface. This is not just another space mission. This is the foundation for everything that comes next. Artemis III is part of NASA's broader Artemis program, a long-term initiative designed to return humans to the Moon and build the foundation for sustained lunar exploration. The program takes its name from Artemis, the twin sister of Apollo in Greek mythology, a fitting tribute to the original moon missions of the 1960s and 70s. But Artemis is not about repeating the past. It is about building something far more permanent. Artemis III is currently planned for 2027, and it will fly 4 astronauts aboard NASA's Orion spacecraft, launching on the Space Launch System rocket from Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Once in low Earth orbit, the crew will conduct a series of critical checkouts and system tests before moving into the most complex phase of the mission. This is where things get truly remarkable. NASA has officially named the 4 prime crew members for Artemis III, and this group brings an impressive combination of experience, expertise, and historic firsts. Leading the mission as commander is Randy Bresnik, a veteran NASA astronaut and retired United States Marine Corps colonel. Bresnik has logged thousands of hours across dozens of aircraft types and has previously flown on both the Space Shuttle and the Soyuz spacecraft. Since 2018, he has been deeply involved in overseeing the development of spacecraft and systems for the Artemis program, making him an ideal choice to lead this mission. Flying as pilot is Luca Parmitano, an astronaut from the European Space Agency representing Italy. Parmitano is one of Europe's most experienced spaceflight veterans, having previously commanded Expedition 61 aboard the International Space Station, becoming the first Italian to ever command the station. His assignment also marks the first time a European Space Agency astronaut has been assigned to an Artemis mission, a historic milestone for international space cooperation. Serving as mission specialists are Andre Douglas and Frank Rubio. Douglas, a Virginia native with a doctorate in systems engineering from George Washington University, will be making his very first spaceflight. He previously served as a backup and closeout crew member for Artemis II, so he's no stranger to the program. Frank Rubio brings a remarkable record to this crew. He holds the United States record for the longest single space flight, spending 371 days aboard the International Space Station after launching in September of 2022. Rubio is also a physician and a United States Army aviator, bringing a rare combination of medical and aviation expertise to the mission. And here is the part many people are missing. Artemis III may not be the moon landing mission people expected, but it may be the mission NASA needs most before astronauts can safely return to the lunar surface. Unlike what many assumed, Artemis III will not land on the moon. Instead, it is a highly complex demonstration mission designed to test the systems, hardware, and docking capabilities that future lunar landing missions will absolutely depend on. After Orion reaches low Earth orbit and completes systems checkouts, the spacecraft will, for the very first time, demonstrate rendezvous and docking capabilities with test versions of commercial human landing systems. This is not a simple procedure. It involves a dramatic multi-launch campaign using some of the most powerful rockets ever built, followed by carefully choreographed docking operations, testing interfaces, software, propulsion systems, and communications between Orion and the landers. The crew is expected to spend approximately 2 weeks in space, with the exact mission length determined in real time, based on how each phase of the mission unfolds. Two of the biggest names in commercial spaceflight are central to Artemis III. SpaceX is developing a crewed lunar lander version of its Starship vehicle, known as the Starship Human Landing System. Blue Origin is developing its Blue Moon crewed lunar lander. Both companies are building test articles specifically for Artemis III. The plan calls for Blue Origin's lander Pathfinder to launch first and wait in orbit. Orion will then rendezvous and dock with it, with the crew spending approximately 2 days conducting tests and technology demonstrations, including actually entering the lander. After completing those operations, Orion will detach and await the arrival of SpaceX's Starship Pathfinder, which will then launch and dock with Orion for approximately 1 day of additional checkouts and testing. Once all docked operations are complete, Orion and its crew will undock and return to Earth, splashing down in the Pacific Ocean, where a United States Navy and NASA recovery team will be waiting. NASA's strategy of partnering with commercial companies is not just about cost savings. It is about building a robust, redundant lunar transportation architecture that can support sustained human presence on and around the Moon for decades to come. There are several remarkable facts about this mission worth highlighting. Orion is designed to carry astronauts farther from Earth than any spacecraft built for humans since the Apollo program. Frank Rubio's 371 days in space is the longest single spaceflight ever completed by an American astronaut. Luca Parmitano's assignment makes him the first European Space Agency astronaut ever assigned to an Artemis mission. Randy Douglas, despite making his first spaceflight, brings 4 postgraduate degrees and extensive experience designing space exploration systems. And Artemis missions are not only about returning to the Moon, they are about learning how to live and work in deep space, building the knowledge and experience that will eventually support the first crewed missions to Mars. Artemis III is a critical stepping stone in a much larger journey. By testing rendezvous and docking operations with both the SpaceX and Blue Origin lander systems, this mission will generate the data and operational experience NASA needs before it can safely send astronauts to the lunar surface on Artemis IV, which is currently planned for 2028 and would be the first crewed mission to the lunar South Pole. Beyond that, every lesson learned on Artemis III will feed directly into future missions designed to establish a permanent human presence on and around the Moon. That presence, in turn, will serve as the proving ground for the technologies, medical knowledge, and operational procedures needed to eventually send humans to Mars. The hardware being tested, the docking procedures being refined, and the deep space experience being accumulated by this crew will echo through every major human spaceflight mission for generations to come. Artemis III may not be the moon landing many people were waiting for, but it could be the most important mission NASA has flown in decades. It is the bridge between the Apollo era and a future where humans live and work beyond Earth, a future that depends on getting these systems right before anyone sets foot on the lunar surface again. Randy Bresnik, Luca Parmitano, Randy Douglas, and Frank Rubio are not just flying a test mission. They are laying the groundwork for humanity's next great chapter in space. So here is a question for the comments. Do you think NASA will successfully return astronauts to the moon before the end of this decade? Let us know what you think below. And if you want more updates on NASA, Artemis, the moon, and the future of space exploration, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a thing.